Hi, Chris Chan here. Welcome back to today's video. In the previous video, I talked about what a V-shaped recovery is about and what are the possibilities of us having a V-shaped recovery from this crisis triggered by the COVID-19 global pandemic. And today we'll be exploring other possible recovery. Will this be a recession or will it be a depression? Let's find out more. The U-shaped recovery. The truth of the matter is, there are many small, medium enterprises that won't survive this shock, especially those that are cash-strapped and or highly leveraged. Even the biggest airlines around the world are not spared without bailouts from the government. While the stimulus packages help to stabilize the situation in the short term, they are certainly not designed to stimulate growth over the long term. Hence, you can only imagine that with so many enterprises shutting down and millions of jobs being lost, the demand for goods and services will inevitably drop, which will trigger the ripple effect to every country and almost every industry. However, the economy will eventually recover, but at a much slower rate. Now, realistically speaking, due to the prolonged lockdown, it will take more time for businesses and consumers to be back to normal. Consumers will be less likely to spend during this period, but eventually when their financial situation improves, their desire to spend and the resources to spend will be available. Now, this trend is a much gradual road to recovery. I like to use the analogy of someone down with a ligament tear in the knee injury. Even with a successful operation, it will still take months before this person's life gets back to normal. So to put things in perspective, the U-shaped recovery was what we undergone during the Asian financial crisis in 1997 and the 2008 global recession. Right? So in my humble opinion, this scenario in fact is not an unreasonable base case scenario. So finally, let's explore the prolonged L-shaped recovery. This is also the bleakest and most pessimistic outlook of all. Now, overall, there will be sustained weaknesses and damages as a result of the COVID-19 shutdown. We'll see more corporations going into bankruptcy, there will be insufficient policy support and higher unemployment rates coming up. If the virus never really gets under control and every time social distancing is lifted and it causes waves of breakout, it's very difficult for businesses to sustain longer in their operation, and with the prolonged losses, many of them will not be able to pay their bills and installment on time. And when that happens, it causes them to default on their loans. This could further trigger the unwinding of the global debt bubble, which could very well lead this into an economic depression that lasts for years. Right? The real estate bubble since the fall of 1998 and the subsequent stock market crash in 1991 have led Japan into 2 decades of stagflation. I would like to use the analogy of someone bleeding profusely from injuries caused by a serious car accident. This person was rushed to the hospital A&E for an emergency operation, but due to the patient's existing health problem led to more complications, and this patient had to undergo multiple surgeries and require a much longer process of rehabilitation before getting a chance for a full recovery. Now, while most of us wish this will not be the scenario, there are many who speculate that this crisis could be worse than the 2008 global recession, and this could potentially match the 1929 Great Depression. Can we know for sure which trend will definitely emerge? At this point of time, it is hard to rule out any possibilities. Your guess is as good as mine. So what's your take? Would it be a swift V-shaped recovery, a gradual U-shaped recovery, or prolonged L-shaped recovery? And what's your basis for your opinion? I'd love to hear your point of view in the comment section below. If you have missed any of my previous videos connected to this one, you might want to watch the rest of the videos via the available links below. In my upcoming videos, I will also cover the suitable strategies that not only help you survive but also thrive in this challenging period. So before we go, don't forget to click on the thumbs up button and the subscribe button below, as I'm putting in more resources with my team to create more insightful, high quality video content just for you. We certainly need your support towards growing our much needed subscribers. And your support can go a long way. So take care, take charge. Look forward to see you next. Chris Chan signing off.